Welcome back to the channel, guys. I got something else for you. Another unboxing. Oh, another box. Another box. Should we check it out? I think so. Here we go. Alright guys, so here's the box. Small order here, but all the essential stuff I need to get going again for fishing this season. First up, we got Owner Y-Gap Plus, and I got these for the special bait. And a video that I put out with the depths bait, they forgot what they call it, but this is a little bit wider, and they recommend 1 and 2 watt for that smaller size, so it's a little bit thicker on this belly here. Let's see if I can show you. You can see there that it's deeper here in this section, so more room there for the bait. That when they grab it, you have more hook penetration possible there, so it doesn't get jammed up in their mouth. So these are 2 watts. Again, Owner Y-Gap Plus 2 watts. We got Owner. These are jungle. These are like, I was debating between the two, like what's the difference here, right? These are considered the jungle Y-Gap hooks. Let me take one out, and this is a 3/0. And by jungle, I guess what they mean is just a thicker wire. You can see it. I mean, this is a bigger size hook here. You can see it. Let me show you. So here's the same ones in 3/0. You can see the wire is thicker, so better for braiding. I use a lot of times depending where I'm fishing. This year I definitely will be using more mono. Still haven't made the leap to fluorocarbon. I really don't believe in it, but using a lot more mono for Texas rigs and flipping this year. So this will definitely bend out quicker than these, but most times I don't have a problem. But this seems like it's better for your braided line. Let me take one out. Yeah, you can see the hook point too is it's not in line perfectly with that. So if you look down it, actually will penetrate the fish's mouth better, because that way when it's aligned here with your regular Gamakatsus, which I have still a decent amount of those, you won't get the hook up. So I usually do, I'll take the hook and I'll bend it off a little bit to the side, that way it'll hook up better. But that's already, it's just above the line tie there a little bit, if you can see that. You can see that there. If I get the right angle, yeah, right about there, you can see it. And got the it's about the same width as a Gamakatsu, like the depth wise here, about the same. Yeah, it says maximum strength is OE wire, so basically better for your braid. Yeah, this is they say is a 4 times strong. Yeah, heavy braided line and big baits. Yeah, so this is what this is made for. Makes sense. And these are going to be, wider gap there, 3/0. See, it says extra wide gap. Yep, that's what you want. Okay, for those thicker baits, because those depths baits there, the ones I showed in the previous video, they're pretty thick, a lot thicker than a Senko. So you basically want to have somewhere for the bait to go when the fish hits it, and having that wider gap there should help. Next up, we got a Fuji Easy Keeper on my old Powell crank rod I've had since about 2010. There's no line, what's the word I'm looking for? No keeper, no hook keeper on there. Literally snapped off, because on the Powell rods I have like a cheap wire thing, and eventually it breaks off. It's not, it bends around. On the Dobbins ones, it has kind of just like a hook there, but each one of them has their pros and cons. The Dobbins ones won't break, but you can't just leave your bait Texas rigged and hook it on the back part of the hook here. You have to take the bait out and put it through the point for it to work. So I got this, I'm gonna try them out, replace my hook keeper there on my one rod, and if I like them, I'll get more, go from there. This would be nice, because I've been hooking the treble hook baits on my Powell small rod there, my crankbait rod, which is basically a 3-power 7-foot rod, right on the reel, and have an old Shimano Sitka, and it works fine, but you know, I don't want to keep scratching anything up, so I got this bad boy. Next up, we got some tungsten weights. Since I'm going to be doing some more flipping this year, I'm going to try to be doing more Texas rigs. I'm pretty much a jig guy. I like to fish a jig and a spinnerbait. That's pretty much my go-tos most of the time. But I'm going to try to use Texas rigs more this year, because supposedly they do get more bites. And I'm out there to catch fish. I definitely want to get a big fish, and I have a lot of swim baits, but I don't have the patience or the time to spend days and hours out there to get no bites. So I'm out there to catch something, and I got some more weights here, so I can have more versatile selection here to do flipping. So these are 1/8, and these are by Eco-Friendly. Let me take one out and show you guys. I've not taken anything out of this box yet. These are 1/8, so these are pretty small. 1/8 is pretty small there compared to my other ones I've been using, which are like a 1/4 ounce or so. I'll just leave them here, because I'm just gonna, once I get done with this video, I'm gonna put them in my terminal tackle box there. It's 1/8. What we got now? We got more of them, and this is a 3/16, so that's a pretty good size. A lot of pros and stuff recommend a 3/16, so I'm gonna do, you know, probably most times I'll use 3/16. So I'm fishing real shallow, do 1/8. I mean, as you guys know, fishing like a Senko or a stick bait, that slow fall usually gets more bites anytime than a rapid fall. Unless it's really warm out and it's really been really hot, then you can make them react by using something fast, but most times that slower fall works better. So you can adjust it by the bait you're using it or the weight. So that's 3/16. Owner shaky heads. I've had good success with these over the years. I just lose them. You know, that happens, right? So you fish them in the right areas, they're going to get snagged and lose them up. I ran out of 1/8 ounce ones. I like using a grub a lot of times, and that's what's actually in this box coming up next. And I was getting low on these. I only have like a few 1/4 ounce ones or so left, so these are 1/8 ounce. I'll show you what these look like. These are Owner twist lock, but I love these shaky heads because the twist lock feature on there. I've used some other ones, not very liking of them, but that screw lock with that center pin there, you just screw the bait in there, it works amazing. So, you know, I could keep it pretty weedless, and you got a nice gap there to get a good hookup. So that's an 1/8 ounce. I'll be using these a lot on the spinner rod with a grub or worm, something finesse like that. I like finesse fishing for those type of things. That's 1/8 ounce. Next up, we got same ones, 1/4 ounce. See, double the size on the head. I actually changed the head on this a little bit. Before, I think it was just flat here. Now it's kind of flat through this whole back section there, if you can see that. So, but that center point what makes the big difference for me to hold the bait on there. That's everything for me versus having a little keeper here. I don't like that. That center pin, the screw lock is really good. So these are actually, no, these are actually, I'm sorry, these are 3/16 ounce. So slightly smaller. So I got 1/8 and I got 3/16 here. Next up, we got some baits. Grubs. I love a Zoom Super Salt Plus Fat Albert grub. And colors, you know, I like June bug, green pumpkin, things like that. I don't go too crazy with the colors. I have a 4000. Use a couple different ones. These work great. Big tail on there. And they're a basic bait that's been around for a long time, but they just catch fish. I mean, caught plenty of bass on these, pickerel, anything in the water that wants to bite will pretty much bite these. So great little bait. I'll put that on the shaky head there I just showed you, and it works out great. So I'm in an area and I'm catching my reaction baits. I want to slow down. I can throw a Texas rig. I can throw this. I've even used this to fish around and caught them. So this or a little finesse worm, something like that. Works great. There's a million different baits out there. You can spend all your money and go crazy and buy 4,000 different things, but at the end of the day, most times when we go out there, as you know, we don't really use, you know, half of them. We use like 10% of the baits we ever buy. So trying to buy the things I use on a more often basis. Now I do try things from time to time, but for the most part, when I actually get out on the water, you know, you use which you have the confidence in. It's another one. That's green pumpkin right there. Green pumpkin works great in any water clarity as far as I'm concerned. It's got the dark color. Works in clear water. Works in stained water. Muddy water, maybe not as much because it's kind of blends in there. If you want to use that June bug or black and blue, but the other water clarities works great. That's the June. So that's the Zoom grub there. Super Salt Plus, Fat Albert, green pumpkin. So guys, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed the video. All these baits I got, all these hooks and everything like that. I do have another order coming, just some more, a few more things, but overall I'm pretty much ready to go for the season. Right now recording this is mid-March. It snowed the last few days, so it stinks, but I'll be out there sooner than later catching fish like I've done for my whole life. So it's always fun every time I go out there. You can't beat being out in the water. But that's today's order. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit all those buttons. Subscribe if you're not. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Alright guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Donnie D signing off.
Man, that thing was big. That thing was strong.
That thing was huge.
Yeah, that thing must eat a lot of fish. Man, that thing was strong.